Hey guys, Nitno here. So a recent change has now caused keys to spawn in jackets. Now some of you might be wondering, as did I, is it worth it to do just jacket runs where you just go around and farm keys out of jackets over and over? Now I'm going to get right to the point and let you know that from my findings, I don't really feel like it's worth doing just jacket runs. But it is worth checking jackets now along your normal questing routes or your normal farming routes. If you know there's going to be a jacket or you run into one, it's definitely worth checking now and it can add some extra income to your runs. Now that we basically answered that question, let's go over my findings from 15 different village runs. The village has a high density of jackets to check, and if you're already in the area, or say you have the tunnel extract and you're going to be going by the village anyway, it might be a good idea now to stop by the village and check some jackets. Now, after 15 runs, these are all of the keys I found. The keys are completely RNG, and you might have better or worse luck than I did. It may look like I got a lot of keys, but the majority of the keys were junk. Now, for the sake of the experiment, I valued the keys by how much they were selling for at the lowest price on the flea market. In reality, some of these keys you might just vendor. I placed each key onto a very basic spreadsheet and added them together to find the total. In about 15 runs, I made about 2.8 million rubles. If you divide that by 15, it's about 190,000 a run. Now, if you compare that with other farming methods, it might not sound too great, but if you combine jacket farming with your normal shoreline run, it'll add a decent amount of value to each run. Alright, so if you're still interested in this run, I'll do a quick run through of all of the jacket spawns. I might have missed one or two, feel free to comment down below, but I think I hit most of them. And I'm not going to be searching each one, I'll just show you where they are. Feel free to check it out for yourself, and who knows, maybe the RNG gods will shine on you and you'll get some really nice keys. So there are a couple other nice advantages to this run. If you are still on bad habit and you have to collect cigarettes, there's quite a few cigarettes in these jackets, so you can actually probably get that done pretty quickly by doing this run. Another thing is I don't really check all of the shacks on this run, but from my experience, some of the shacks have some decent loot. Sometimes they have like motors and they have fuel for the hideout, so if you're into the hideout, you can actually rack up quite a bit of fuel if you check some of the shacks around here. So that's a nice little bonus. As for running into other players in this area, it's usually pretty quiet in the village. You might run into some scavs later in the game, or you might be running into people coming through, especially at the beginning of the game, people kind of running through, heading straight to the resort, though you might take a shortcut through here. So you might run into people at the beginning of the game, and maybe scavs towards the end, but for the most part it's pretty quiet and pretty safe, so you can just kind of take your time and loot. So actually in this building, there's actually a key spawn on that chair right there, so you want to check that as well. I'll show you another key spawn in this bus, so you want to check the seats. And lastly, there's one more key spawn that I think would be a good idea to check while you're down in this area. We're going to run towards the car pileup, and we're going to check the yellow bus. Now when you get to the yellow bus, you're just going to be checking the seats again, and sometimes there's a key there. Lastly, there is a key on the scav island, but it's not really worth it if you're just trying to get out. So we're just going to extract, and we're good to go. Alright guys, well I hope you found this helpful. If you did, hit that sub button, hit that like button, or leave a comment. Either way, I really appreciate it guys. Have fun in Tarkov. Take it easy. Peace.